On this episode, we decide it's time for movie reviews.
And after we explain what we like in movies, you can decide if our review tracks with your thinking.
Yeah, is 3 Men and a Baby a choice for a movie to review?
No. But we can interview Tom Selleck.
Great. You can interview him as a hot dogger.
No. I'll do the interview correctly, and then the hot dogger will drive the Wienermobile.
Oh, that's what they call their driver, a hot dogger? Cool.
All characters, events, and interviews in this show, even those based on real people, are entirely fictional. All celebrity voices and answers are impersonated by untrained individuals. This is just for fun and is how we would like the conversation to go.
Welcome to What Happens in the World Today. I'm Steve.
And I'm Scott. And this is a tale of how bad life decisions led to a YouTube show.
And we're going to talk about what we've noticed is going on in the world today. And what I notice is you are still frozen.
You know, this actually was from last week when we were at that 28 below zero at night stuff.
Is that your house or is that somewhere?
That's my office window.
Wow.
And it is so freaking awesome what Mother Nature can do. That is not carved. That's all natural.
Yeah, I like the little leaves over your shoulder there.
Yes.
That look like leaves.
Stunningly. And the camera did not do it justice because I just used my cell phone. It was absolutely stunning. And unfortunately, 10 minutes after I took this picture, the sun hit it. It just melted it all.
Yeah,
but it was beautiful.
But I see that, you guys are actually, you and your wife are actually finding time to spend time with each other.
Yes, I've got 2 months before things start getting nuts again. Not that they're not still always busy, but at least now my weekends are not as hectic. So we took advantage of the fact that over the weekend, the weather had gotten nicer. And we went out and saw The Kid Who Would Be King. And it was really an interesting movie.
Cool. Well, that's one of the things that we used to do on our radio shows. We used to do movie reviews, if you recall.
Yes, we did.
So first off, let's tell everybody how we base movies on how we review them. You tell what you look for in a movie, then I'll say what I look for in a movie, because my wife and I actually went and saw a movie, The Upside.
Oh, yeah. So we were thinking about that.
Let's go. Well, good thing you didn't go. So let's talk about how you judge movies, and I'll tell you how I judge movies.
Okay. For me, the most important thing is how well I'm entertained. I want to either feel happy, sad. I hate horror films. I do not like to sweat while I'm watching a movie. I want to feel good emotions. I want to feel mostly positive. Yes, being sad you think is not a positive, but crying is good for you. It's actually
this is those endorphins.
Yes. And not only that, women who've had a good cry have a tendency to be a little bit more romantic afterwards. So I don't mind a good romance.
So that's what you're looking for. So
I'm a guy.
I'm a little more specific. First off, I don't want to be taught a lesson. I don't need a movie that's going to teach me a lesson. Okay? If I want to see a documentary, I'll go see a documentary or I'll read a book.
Right.
Okay. So I don't want to go back to school. I also want to be entertained. Fair enough, right?
Yeah.
The next thing is I want good to win and evil to lose.
Yes.
End of story. Right? I don't like movies where evil win. No.
Yes.
No. That's another thing. I do not like movies that tell you, you made a bad life decision, and that's why this is happening to you. Because that's like our thing. Bad life decisions led to a YouTube show, right?
Yes.
I don't need you get a redo and you get to go redo it. No. So, good versus evil, good wins, positive, entertaining outcome. And here's the other thing I don't like. I don't know when they started making movies 3 hours long. Okay?
Yes. You've discussed that, yeah.
The Titanic did not need to be 3 hours long when they give you 42-ounce drinks, 48-ounce drinks, and they give you free refills now.
Yes.
We can have 2 48-ounce drinks. And then they did it in surround with water running through the whole second half of the movie. When do you go take your potty break? We talked about that. You want to have intermission, so you go take your potty break.
That's right.
So the other thing is, when you're doing a 3-hour movie, there are going to be slow spots.
Yes.
I do not need 15-minute slow spots. Let's get on with the story and move on.
Right.
I don't need 2-hour movies. I think my attention span's about an hour, maybe an hour 10.
I was going to say the most
20 at the
popular
most.
movies of all time. Well, I shouldn't say this. The most entertaining movies of all time are usually right around 90 minutes.
Yeah, 90 minutes. I can do that. I can do an hour and a half for a movie,
Yeah.
right? But hey, tighten it up. Oh God, I can't think of his name now. Kill Bill, Volume 1 and 2.
Keith Carradine, not Keith.
Not even close. But the actor, the director couldn't even shrink the movie down to one movie, so he made two really long movies.
Yes. Not the actor, the director.
The director, yeah. So now you're gonna make me look it up because you don't know his name.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Not Quentin Tarantino.
Quentin Tarantino, yeah. Quentin Tarantino. Thanks for bailing me out on that one. So the upside, 2 hours long. I think it's 2 hours long.
Okay.
That's
Now, there's one other thing that I forgot to mention. It's not what I look for, but it's what ends up happening in both TV shows and movies, is I notice things that don't ring true. I realize that it's fantasy, but still.
Well, you didn't like Face Off?
No, I did not.
Why? Because he killed two people that switch faces.
Right. Well, not only that, it's almost a horror film. It's not.
All right. So I'm going to rip you on this one. Okay. So let's talk about yours and things that don't ring true. Okay. So go ahead and tell me about this, and then I'll tell you about things that don't ring true in the movie you just saw that you just said you enjoyed. Go ahead.
Okay.
The kid who would be king.
The Kid Who Would Be King. I really enjoyed the film. One of the things that it did irritate me, however, is all of a sudden you've got like 300 grade school and high school age students who are fighting dead warrior demons, and none of them get hurt. It's like, that's not logical. It's just not logical. They did not have any training. They had like 10 minutes worth of training to fight these things, and yet nobody got hurt? Really? And they destroyed all the bad monsters? No.
And that bothered you.
Yes, it does, because it's not realistic. I mean, it's like if you watch Lord
a
of the
kid
Rings.
finding a sword and becoming King Arthur.
Yes.
That's good, right?
Well, again, we know that this movie is to be entertaining, and it's a new spin.
It's fantasy. It says right here, fantasy. It's about King Arthur. Fantasy.
But
You have
then
to
again, if you think about Lord of
believe.
the Rings, a lot of good people die in that movie.
All right. So you want me to tell you why you didn't like this movie?
Okay, tell
It's
me
not what you just told us. The movie was 2 hours long. You couldn't suspend disbelief. You couldn't suspend belief for 2 hours. They probably got to the point of where the movie kind of dragged at some points. You snapped out of the, I'm in fantasy land. Oh, the kid's going to be King Arthur. He pulls the sword out of the stone. They're killing all these demons. When it got to be too long, you kind of woke up out of that fantasy world and went, well, that's not real, because it was 2 hours long.
It might also have to be with the fact that I had to take a pee break and I missed 10 minutes of the movie.
Again, both of the things I don't like about the 2 hour long movie, right?
Yes. So how about your movie?
Yeah, so my movie. Okay. My movie was actually 4 minutes longer than your movie. Sorry, 5 minutes longer than your movie. It was 2 hours and 5 minutes. It would have been a great half-hour TV show.
Okay.
All the good scenes you saw. Sorry, Kevin Hart. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many movies I've watched where all the stuff on the trailer was the best part of the movie.
Yeah, Bryan Cranston did a great job, but spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. I think you can figure this out from the movie. It's about a guy who has an accident, becomes a quadriplegic.
Right.
So he's in a wheelchair, he can only move himself around, and he hires a guy who's not qualified to take care of him. And from the trailers, you can tell that the guy in the wheelchair isn't happy with his life, but the guy who he hires, Kevin Hart, helps him out and makes him all better and makes him enjoy his life. There you go. End of story.
Yeah.
Look, how long did that take me? You might be able to stretch that out to a 30-minute show, 22 minutes of runtime with commercials. But that's
exactly.
So
it's like those reality TV shows that I hate where they keep showing the same scene 5 times throughout the half-hour show.
Yeah, so watch the trailers, watch all the trailers that are up there, and then you've seen the movie and save your time. But yeah, I'm finding it harder and harder to find a good movie. If they start making Star Wars movies really long, I'm not going to like them either anymore.
I understand.
So that's not fun.
So,
But I see you over there typing in our subject board at the
Well,
Tom Selleck interview.
I
So
was
are we
going
ready to move
do that
on to it?
Yeah, we should probably do our interview. I was going to type some stuff in there, but I can't type and talk at the same time. I just can't.
Well, what were you going to type?
Well,
talking.
something that I was thinking about asking him. So
What were you thinking about asking?
Well, I know that one of the reasons I want him on my cooking show is because he believes that food and family is a good combination.
Oh, and that's why he does that in the show. So, all right, let me go get him.
All right.
I'll be right back.
So, as you probably figured out by now, folks, we're going to interview Tom Selleck, and
From the bumper.
I've liked that. I've liked almost all his westerns that he's been in, and of course, I love him in Blue Bloods. It's
Blue Bloods. Hey, should I come on, or do you just want to talk about me while I'm over here while talking to Steve?
You better come on.
Hello. So I heard in the Jack Black interview you didn't like the fact that Steve cut Jack Black's beard off. So
You kept the stash. Perfect.
I kept the stash.
Yes.
I'm
Because
Tom Selleck.
let's face it, that stash is a trademark for you.
It is. I've had it since Magnum PI.
You betcha.
Yeah.
So,
Did they joke about that in Orville? The mustache?
Yes,
But it wasn't the Tom Selleck mustache. It was just a mustache.
yes. Although I must
They didn't reference Tom Selleck.
Bortus's mustache looked interesting.
Okay, if you say
See,
so.
yours doesn't look interesting. Yours looks awesome.
Mine doesn't look interesting. All right, this interview's over.
I said it
Sorry.
looked
See you
awesome.
later. Next.
So,
All right.
anywho's, I know that you're very family orientated and
Orientated?
yes, and
I'm orientated towards families?
yes.
Or I'm oriented? Or am I oriental?
I don't think you're Oriental. Although today,
So is it orientated? Orientated? What is the correct pronunciation?
I am orientated, right? That sounds right. Oriented.
Orientated. I am oriented towards. I am
Oriented.
aligned. It's orient.
Right. Oriented.
Oriented. I am oriented. Oriented. Not orientated. Oriented.
Oriented. Yes. So, anywho's, since you family and food goes together,
Yes.
and
That's why I have it in. I have so many food scenes in Blue Bloods with the family sitting around the table.
yes, I like that because you don't allow cell phones at the table and stuff like that.
That's just because I'm old. I'm old timey like you guys.
Yes, that's one of the reasons why I want you to come to my place.
I'm 74 years old. Did you know that?
Yes, and I also know that you're in great health, which is awesome. Which means when I cook for you, it's going to be you're actually going to eat the steak because you are a real steak eater.
Well, I was in great health because I actually worked as a model earlier in my career. Did you know I was a model?
No, I didn't. I never saw you as a model. Actually, I saw you in a TV commercial when you were young. Sorry, we were all young once. What the heck was the TV commercial I saw you in? It was interesting, too.
I did a lot of TV commercials when I was young because I was a model.
Well, it obviously Magnum PI is what skyrocketed you, but I enjoyed your Westerns more than Magnum PI by a long shot.
Well, which Westerns? The Jesse Stone series or just movies?
Jesse Stone's was really good, but I think one of my favorite movies was oh my goodness, I'm having a brain fart. And Silverado. Man.
Well, don't stop now. Keep telling me how awesome I am.
Okay. Here's one of these catch-22s. I'm one of these guys that loves to talk about stuff.
But I have no idea what they're talking about?
I'm terrible at remembering facts. I was not good at history because all they ever wanted to know was about the dates and stuff, and I could never remember anything. I could remember what happened, why it happened, but I couldn't remember the dates. And if you didn't know the dates, they didn't give you a good grade. It irritated the hell out of me. So,
did you like me in Quigley Down Under? Or is that the one you like?
That was one of my favorites, definitely. There was also
Quigley was hot, wasn't she?
say it again.
Quigley was hot, wasn't she?
Quigley was you. You
Yeah,
were Matthew Bigley.
He was hot.
Well, yeah. Well, Australia is also hot.
I was a
So,
sharpshooter.
yes, and there was several that you came back from different ones after the war and stuff like that, where you went back to your cabin or your ranch or whatever, and other people had taken it over and you took it back. You reminded me of a honest and fair, strong-willed, real man.
Okay.
You played your parts very well. They were believable. And you were always fair.
That's because I'm a great actor.
Yes.
And you believe all that stuff.
I appreciate any actor that can make the part partially themselves, because that makes the part more real.
Really?
And everything I've seen you in, you seem to do that.
Well, I wrote most of the Jesse Stone stuff, right?
Did you use that as a pen name also?
I did what as a pen name?
Didn't you call yourself Jesse Stone in a series of some sort on paper?
Did I? Yeah, if you say so. I don't remember that.
I'm not 100% sure, but because again, we're going back to a long time ago, and I'm terrible at remembering certain things. But
I know that. I know that about you.
Yes. All I know is that whenever I watch one of the movies that you were in, I know that I'm going to be thoroughly entertained and I'm going to believe it, and I'm not going to see a lot of mistakes because you.
So I don't make mistakes because they edit it out. See, that's how that works. Unlike your and Steve's show, where you guys just leave in the mistakes.
Yes.
We have editors that edit all that stuff out. So
I understand that.
So the advantage is, you won't see my mistakes. We call those bloopers in the industry, and we actually take those out.
Reel.
You want to see a good blooper reel? You should see my blooper reel from 3 Men and a Baby. Search that up on YouTube.
Yes. Steve
I'm actually a very funny guy, only as a straight man, though. I really had no funny lines.
But, anywho's, just out of curiosity,
yes.
Would you be interested in doing a science fiction movie?
People have asked me that before. I'm into the Westerns. I'm into the reality, real life stuff. I don't know. As it's not something that I've really done.
No, see, I'm thinking that being the captain of a starship that is a little bit more of a rougher show, kind of like Serenity was, where, not everything is clean and neat and, you're going into a planet where you have to rescue the town that's being overrun by bad aliens. I think you'd make
it sounds like a Western sci-fi to me. It sounds like you're trying to make a Western sci-fi there.
There's been a couple out that I've enjoyed.
More like Westworld. You'd like to see me in a Westworld episode.
Yeah, I didn't like Westworld. I like the original one, but not the remake.
Okay. We're not such a issue.
Yes. But anyway, I know we're running out of time, and
we're out of time. We didn't run. So we aren't running out of time. We're out of time.
If you could say hi to everybody on the show for me. I know they don't know me, but
hi to everybody on the show for Scott.
And thank you for coming.
So yeah, you want to talk to everybody on Blue Bloods? Hey, you didn't even talk about my Broadway career that everybody thought I did a really bad job of, which is really bad. I played the lead role in 2001 in a Broadway career, a Broadway play. They didn't like me in there. I did Right Guard commercials. Is that the commercial you liked me in?
I think, was that the one where you were wearing the really skin tight shirt that made my wife go a hubba hubba? I think so.
Might have been.
Yeah.
So cool.
So anyway, thanks again.
I'm out. Well, see you later. See you at dinner. Bring the family. Always have family with dinner. Dinner with family.
Thank you, sir.
Bye. Well, I thought that went really well, Tom. I thought you did a good job with Scott, and hopefully Scott asked you some good questions. We're trying to get Scott to be better and actually know things about people. Well, he knew some stuff about me, but he could have asked me some other questions. Well, like what? Well, he could have asked me, why. Well, first off, why did he ask me about being on a sci-fi show? That doesn't make any sense at all. I do westerns. I like westerns. You could ask me if I was doing any more westerns or writing any more westerns. I actually wrote. I was the author of a lot of those westerns. See, I like westerns, so he'll figure it out someday. Okay, cool. Thanks, man. See you later. Hey, I'm back. How you doing?
Hi, Steve. We were talking about you while you were gone.
Oh yeah, what'd you say? Good stuff. I hope.
Oh yeah, we're talking about how you are such a good host for our guests.
I am a great host for our guests. I just let them take over the microphone. One of these days, we'll have to bring in 2 cameras so we can both be here at the same time.
That would help. So anyway, we got to do a genuine positivity message really quick.
All right, quick, go. Genuine positivity. George Bernard Shaw. You know who George Bernard Shaw is?
Well, of course. I even made a link so that you would know who he was.
I know that you made a link. The question is, do you know who he is?
Well,
without reading.
Pardon?
Without reading.
Well,
you know who George Bernard Shaw.
I remember he was
He
was an Irish playwright back from the turn of the century of 1800s into the mid 1900s.
Uh-huh.
That's what I remember. I don't remember any of his specific work, but he was very well known.
Okay.
So, but I found his message. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. And I thought that was pretty cool.
It is pretty good. So, he was back in the 1950s.
Well, he was actually around from the mid 1800s to about 1950, wasn't he?
Yeah. Crazy.
So, but, everybody thinks everything current is, but no, there's some of these people, this great
things about people is not current. Things about people were all developed in like the 40s and 50s when they started documenting things.
Yes.
And, that's when all these great people came about talking about all this stuff. And we're just in their world living it. But speaking of living in a world, did you see Oscar Mayer Wiener is hiring their summer drivers again?
You betcha. They need a Wienermobile driver.
Yep. You get paid to travel the country in a Wienermobile.
Yes, but you have to have good customer skills or people skills.
Unfortunately, the applications are no longer being accepted.
Yes, we just missed it last week.
But you know what they call their drivers?
Hot doggers.
Hot doggers. That is crazy.
It is. I've actually seen the Wienermobile many times.
I have too. They hand out the little whistles. I love those little whistles.
Yep.
But yeah, that's really cool. They're going to be driving around in June. They start driving around, so look for it coming across the United States. We should look for that in June to see if we can find the map for it at the Oscar Mayer. I bet you they have the site of where it's going to be.
Sure they do.
When it's going to be there. But did you see what they, as the job description, what the job comes with? It says the job comes with the following condiments.
I know. Isn't that awesome?
Competitive salary, benefits, clothing, and a company car. Guaranteed to turn heads.
And it does, too. You cannot. Yeah. I kid you not. You see one of those things going to everybody, you're like, oh! Nobody ignores the Wienermobile. So
that's awesome.
So, anywho's, do we have enough time for our phrase origin story?
Sure.
All right.
They have a Wienermobile app. It doesn't publish for Skija online. You have to download it. But they have a Facebook page too.
Cool.
Cool.
So everybody go ahead and check into that.
Okay.
And we have a finish our show here because we went a little long as usual.
Yep.
But we have a great phrase origin story, and it's a shot in the arm.
Well, if you got the job as the hot dogger, that would be a great shot in the arm to your career.
You certainly would. It means having a stimulus of some sort.
Yeah, because you got shot in the arm, man. You'd be going, oh, man, ow. That would really wake you up.
The origin dates back to 1916 when the main newspaper, the Lewiston Evening Journal, made a comment that vets can give politics a shot in the arm, and the political leaders realize it. So they utilized the vets from World War I in their campaigning in order to stimulate their own campaign, giving it a fresh shot in the arm.
Wow. That's amazing. Ta-da. Speaking of shots, we should find out why we call drinks shots.
Oh. I remember seeing that in part of the story, but I didn't think we had time to go into it. So
We don't have time to go into it now. We got to do that
okay, we'll do that another show.
for our future show, right?
Works for me.
So cool, man. All right. With that, I want to say thank you for watching.
And if you feel our show is not a bad life decision,
then please subscribe, like, watch our other shows and channels. Go down to whathappened.world. You can connect to all our social media there. Send us messages. Look for Fun Guy the Entertainer Cooks for you. Cooking a lot of good meals, a lot of good food. And with that, I want to say live every day, and we'll see you on the next show.
be genuinely positive, live and love life, and have a good one.
Be crazy, and just